You can just go out and knock up a lean-to or put up a hammock, but that's just camping. You want to do a bushcraft build, you want to build a shelter and be able to come back to it and use it as a base. This isn't where I'm going to have this shelter, by the way. Yeah, this is just a spot that I found secluded. It's the idea, if you're working on this thing, you're out here sawing and doing all those sorts of things, you're not going to do it where you've got your shelter site. So I just found a sort of secluded area, shrubbery all around so people can't really see in. Once I've got it built, I can take it somewhere else, or at the end of each day, like if I work on this thing for a couple of hours, then when I finish, I'll move it from here to somewhere else and just throw it in the long grass or whatever. So if someone does hear me and they come to investigate after I've gone to see what I'm doing, there's nothing here for them. And all the offcuts from these, I'm putting them all into a pile so that when I'm done and I move on, I can take that pile, I can bury it underneath some grass or whatever it might be, and again, covering all my tracks. So there's no sign that anyone's been here working, cutting anything with a saw or anything else. So yeah, trying to keep it as stealthy as possible. Oh. This is intended as a bushcraft project. Something you can spend some time putting together, and then it can be hidden until you come back out to it again, so that you don't have to worry as much about people finding it and destroying it on you. You could make this into a permanent shelter. You could close that front end, put a door in it, you could put a fireplace into it and leave it as a fixed shelter if you didn't have to worry about people coming and smashing your stuff up. Alright, I'll go get some cattails and get on to the next part. Alright, well I did say I was going to collect some cattails, and these definitely aren't cattails. However, these are cattails, and I spent a good deal of time firstly collecting them, then I let them dry for a couple of days, wove them through here, and as they dry, then you keep having to do more and more, and you're still not going to get a real good barrier. I mean, if it's all you had, then that's what you'd use, or you could use grass. However, put that to the side, start with a new one. What I've now got, these are the palm frond sheaths. You imagine there'd be a big head here of the palm frond leaf, and this is the base part that wraps around the tree and falls off. And I collected these and then soaked them in water. So I put them in the dam, left them soaking overnight. Could have just left them out here in the rain. And now what I'm hoping to do, I've still got this hard end bit where it attached, so you need to take that off. And now I can open it right up. And it'll take very few of these to actually cover this whole area. And then I'm just going to weave them through as best I can. Something like that. Put that one under there. Now, they're not quite long enough. Trying to make it work, but what I'll do is I'll select the longest ones first, do along the bottom. These smaller ones, when I get back up the top there, I'll rip all those cattails off of that one and put palm fronds on those as well. I think it'll make it a lot better, really stop the rain coming through it. I don't know if you can hear that on the camera, but it's raining. Alright, first things first, you wouldn't want to carry this thing a long distance, not in one go anyway, but you can build it pretty close to where you're going to be having it. This front frame just trying to hold it. It wasn't really working for me, so I lashed on this bit of cordage so I could put my hand through that to sort of hold it. You just got to do what you got to do. Yeah, this is going to be the site. I'm going to have it facing out that way so I'll get the morning sun, which is what I've got at the moment. Try to figure out how to put this thing together. It's alright, I can fix that. Just hook that on the inside of this front piece. Now, I want this to be able to be put up and taken down fairly easily. This big tall piece here, it's going to get cut off. It's just that I didn't know what I was going to need, so it's better just to leave it on until I start setting it up. So then I want a loop just to go over that. Right, so that shouldn't go anywhere because it's hooked on the inside of that, so it can't come out at the bottom. It can't come off at the top there. I can cut that off because I'm going to have to do the same on that end. Going that way. Kind of. Just like that, we start to have a shelter. It's actually going on surprisingly well. I expected a lot more issues than this. It's not going to be stable, like it's going to rack around because there's nothing bracing it out that way, there's nothing into the ground. If you're going to set this up as a long-term shelter, where you're expecting really bad weather, you'd want to lash it to the ground, either cordage down or just put extra poles down to hold it in place to stop it doing that. I mean, it's not terrible. You'd need a pretty decent storm to make that rock around too much, but yeah. I got to work out where my bed's going to go, or at least the bed posts are going to go, so I can then take this down, put those posts in the ground and sort out the bed. A couple of bits of deer poop there. That's the one issue I've got here. Got a nice flat area to work with, nice flat ground here, or bench, but it's also great for the animals. The deer can sit here and they can look down over the edge and look down the hill, and thick bush up behind me, so deer can quickly duck up there if they see anything coming. Wallabies and coming through here as well, so there's a lot of droppings on the ground, plus it's all uneven. That's the reason why I'm going to have a raised bed. So it's not going to be a huge shelter like it was never intended to be. The bed's going to be there and there, that's going to be my post, but with it out here, it then allows me to sit on the bed so I'm a bit more comfortable. I've still got headroom, plenty of headroom, and I'm out of the rain if it rains. The rain generally comes from that direction here, and I can take in that view that the animals are normally taking in and see anything coming up the hill. So I've got that marked out. I'm going to go get some posts. Been using this Gomboy 240 for 6 years. I think I'm ready for an upgrade. If you know anyone at Silky, or yeah, let them know. There's this Aussie YouTuber that really wants a Katana Boy 500. Make my life easier. I'm going to reuse all this in another shelter that I plan to do hopefully very soon. Ideally, I would have these a lot higher up. So if you're doing this yourself, you'd want to have these posts, wobbly, you want these posts higher in the air, because I'm going to put a canvas sleeve on here that I'm going to sew up, but it stretches. Like when you sit in it, it will stretch. So what's going to happen is I'm going to end up sleeping on the ground. I'm going to be on the bed, but the bed will sag down. I'll be I imagine I'm going to be on the ground. I'll try to make it as tight as possible so it doesn't happen, but yeah, it's going to happen. I'm going to be sleeping on the ground. Probably been almost 2 months since I've got back to doing this shelter. Just had back issues and doing stuff for the family and holidays and working on children's storybooks, which was another story. The end walls, they've fallen apart a bit, so I'm going to have to fix them up, but I think the first issue I'm going to have is I'm expecting when I lay on this bed, I'm going to be on the ground, and that's not going to be an option for tonight because it's been raining and more rain is forecast, so I need to modify this, but I'll try it out to start with and to see how terrible it is. Alright, I'm on the ground, so I kind of knew it was going to happen. I've got an idea. One end wall. It's seen better days. Try this thing out. It feels like it's trying to push me out of the bed. Yeah, it needs to be, this side needs to be higher. I'll see what it's like. It's laying the other way. You know, I could lay like this. It's not too bad. It's more comfortable this way. Got no shortage of cooking gear. Now, I know you heard that. Don't know if you heard the earlier ones, but you definitely heard that one. Surprisingly nice.
definitely hot.
Who said you have to rough it when you're out in the bush? That'll do me nicely. Go back to eating my dinner. Thought I'd get my bed sorted out before the rain picked up too much. Make it impossible for me to film. Morning. It was actually enjoyable laying here listening to the rain on the tarp, but yeah, this morning hasn't been so enjoyable because of bloody mosquitoes. There's been so many mosquitoes. Like, yeah, crazy now. So not a lot on for this morning. It's just a matter of gonna have a nice cup of tea. I think it's black rose tea. Pack up the sleeping gear, collapse this shelter, and yeah. Alright, while I'm waiting for this to heat up, I'll share some thoughts on this shelter. Firstly, it was more the concept that I wanted to try out and to present. The idea that you don't have to have a fixed shelter. You could have a shelter in pieces and put it together when you go out. Like, realistically, once you've figured out how it all goes together each time, I think 10 minutes you could get it from flat packed to ready to sleep in. And you take out that concern that someone's going to find your shelter and smash it up, because it already looks like it's been smashed up already, so they're not going to bother. Even if they did find it, they're going to say, oh, someone's beat me to it, they've already smashed the shelter up. It gives you that option too to move it to a different location. You might be out there sitting in your shelter one day and someone walks along and says, oh, g'day, how you going? You know, and, oh yeah, good. As soon as they leave, pack it up, move it somewhere else, bury it in the grass for a week or two, and then set it up in a new location, just so that if they come back to have another look at it when you're not there, it's gone. You could make another one of these and put that on the front, so you've got like double the size of your shelter if you've got the space available. You could make a front wall with a door in it, a window, and that could still be flat packed. Or you could turn it into a fixed permanent shelter. You could do this to start with, and then you could turn it into a permanent shelter where you fix it off into the ground, put a wall on it. You could put a fireplace in it even. Like, you don't need a huge shelter. You do if you're trying to film in them. If you use thicker timber to make this framework, you could put shelves in it. You could leave like little pokey bits on your timber. So you've got hangers, so you could hang your gear up. The only major problem I've had with this shelter was the posts that I had in the ground, and that was me still hanging on to that mindset of a fixed shelter, being fixed in place, and that's what that came from. And it's not what I wanted this shelter to be anyway, so I'm glad it didn't work out. I'm glad it was too low to the ground. I had to change it, because this is how it should have been to start with. I should have had this rail through incorporated into the walls to start right from the beginning, so they'd flat pack with it rather than have these posts in the ground. I don't know if I often ask for it, but please drop a comment. Tell me what you like about the shelter, if you like anything about the shelter. Tell me what you think about the concept of it. And let me know, share it with others if you've had an incident where you've built a shelter and come back and found some dirtbag has come out and destroyed it on you or vandalised it. Yeah, drop that in the comments and share it with others. Go and check out my other videos and blah blah blah. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.